A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Friday morning, it's the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And we are ready and raring to go on a very, very somber, rainy morning here on a Friday. But we've got a lot to talk about in the sports world. Welcome into the program at the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. Be sure to share it, like it, and follow us. We thank everybody who has done so already so far. Please tell your friends to do the same. Last night in the NBA, it was a big night. We had 4 playoff games throughout the day yesterday, and the NBA lottery and the Charlotte Hornets got some luck of the draw as we wound up in the number 3 spot in the upcoming NBA draft. So that is going to guarantee that we are going to get one of the top prospects, and I feel really happy about that.
You shouldn't, because that top prospect's probably going to be LaMelo Ball. So, good for you.
No, they've already got Devontae Graham. They don't need another point guard. We don't.
There's 3 prospects in this draft, and you're picking 3rd. Good for you.
Yeah.
But I am taking credit for that because I picked you to win the lottery. Said it was going to be the Hornets or the Knicks, and of course the Knicks did what the Knicks did and stayed where they were.
Yep, the Knicks ended up with the number 8 pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Minnesota Timberwolves get number 1 overall. So my first question to you, Jeremy, do you think that they will go small guy? Will they go with James Wiseman?
Completely depends on how they value D'Angelo Russell. If they think D'Angelo Russell's a point guard, they take Anthony Edwards. If they think he's better as a 2 guard, they take LaMelo Ball.
Yep.
If they, by some weird stretch, think they'd be better off having another stretch big guy, they'll take James Wiseman. I don't see that happening, but I would bet it's probably Anthony Edwards. I think they wouldn't have given up as much as they gave up for D'Angelo Russell if they didn't think he was a point guard.
Right.
So that would be my bet. So it's Anthony Edwards 1. I struggle to believe Golden State could turn down the opportunity to take James Wiseman. I really do. I don't think I think they're going to trade the pick. That's everything I've heard.
Yeah.
But that was contingent on them getting number 1. They got 2. I don't know if that changes things. If they make a pick, I would say it's Wiseman, and then LaMelo Ball falls 3 to Charlotte.
Now, all the reports have been that Golden State has said if they ended up with the number 1 pick, or it was reported, sources close to the organization say if they have their choice that they're going after Anthony Edwards. So if they get a sense that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to go Anthony Edwards, I think they'd be more inclined to trade that pick.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah. And
I never bought they were taking Anthony Edwards. Never.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit with that team worth a damn. I've always thought it was Wiseman. I think if they had gotten 1 and got stuck with it, I still think they would have taken Wiseman.
Right.
So I think at 2, and me seeing no way Minnesota takes him at 1, my early not knowing anything more than I knew before the lottery started, I would say it's Anthony Edwards 1 to Minnesota, James Wiseman 2 to Golden State, and the Hornets take LaMelo Ball at 3. Which I want to be a thing so bad I can't stand it. I want LaMelo Ball to be in Charlotte so bad I can't stand it, because that could put me and LeVar Ball in the same room. I would love to have LeVar Ball on this show just because I want to see how bad he could actually piss me off. In 1 hour, I want to see if he could make me fight him, and I think he could.
I don't think it would take more than a couple of minutes.
I think in an hour he could make me fight him. Or make me want to fight him. I can't tell you definitively I would.
Yeah.
Because he's, old enough to be my dad. And I don't know that I could do that.
What? You're giving like the senior citizen discount here? You won't fight an old man?
No, I won't. I'm not. I'm not in that Oscar De La Hoya camp. I will not fight an old or Anderson Silva. We got a whole litany
or Mike
of
Tyson,
former great fighters that have decided to come back. But after they left the retirement home.
Right. Why? Ridiculous. I'm really hoping that James Wiseman falls to 3.
He could.
Yeah.
He could also fall past 3. So just let that be known. There are some people totally not sold on James Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
The decision to not come back, not pay the money back, not show yourself off, let your team down, there are a lot of scouts that are really judging him for that.
I would believe if he's there's no way that Charlotte turns down that opportunity.
Charlotte needs the best player.
Yeah.
Charlotte does not have a face.
See, I feel like James Wiseman is the best
I
player.
did. He's also a big in a league that's getting away from bigs.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets have shown two out of the last 3 nights that apparently you don't have to have a big to beat most teams in the NBA.
Right. I mean, but you think about the young core of that Charlotte Hornets team, and they have Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges and P.J. Washington. Adding a big guy to that would
The fact
would
that
help.
that's their young core should tell you everything you need
Well,
to know.
it's Charlotte, man. The ship sailed on stars when Kemba left.
Adam Harris said the perfect thing here. LaMelo Ball's the biggest name in this. That's a face.
Name.
That is a face of your franchise. How good he's going to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have him at 1. I have LaMelo Ball as the most talented player in this draft. I think he's the best of the ball boys. And yes, I'm going to call them the ball boys from here on out. Because one of them is a ball boy, one of them's headed that way, and the third one we don't know yet.
Oh, you don't have a lot of faith in Lonzo.
Lonzo sucks. I'll just go ahead and tell you, Lonzo sucks a lot. And I've said it since the minute he came out of college. You give me a point guard that can't shoot,
Yep.
you better be real damn good.
Yeah,
you better be Ben Simmons good.
Exactly.
And you know what Lonzo Ball isn't? Ben Simmons good.
Right. I don't know. It shakes out for Charlotte at number 3. They're going to get one of the top prospects in this draft. It would be so Charlotte Hornety of them to go
Take Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin. Yeah, we've got 3 power forwards already. Let's do that.
Oh, Michael Whiteside, comment of the day. Think about Michael Jordan and LeVar Ball being in the same building. Can we get that old man at the gym game? Can we get that game of 21 where LeVar Ball gets beat 21-0?
No,
Like
he would beat
10 times in a row.
Remember, he said he would beat Jordan.
That's what
one-on-one.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. You average 2 points a game at Washington. Shut the hell up. All right, you have delayed this as long as you can. It is time for you to pay the piper on Portland.
Time for me to pay the piper on Portland.
Yep.
The fact that
That crow sandwich has been sitting here steaming for a minute.
the fact that Portland lost last night handily to
I was
the
about to
Los
say,
Angeles
they didn't
Lakers.
lose.
They
They
got
got
killed.
drugged down the sidewalk.
Yeah, they got killed. I've been busy moving houses, and I didn't get to see a lot of this game.
I did.
But
Don't
what-
worry, I'll catch you up.
But when I turned it on late in the game, it was 85-55, and I was like, "Now that's the Lakers I wanted to see."
It was quite possibly the worst game I've ever seen I almost called him LeBron Johnson. I swear to Jesus I did. It was the worst game I've ever seen LeBron James have, and they still won by 23.
Yeah.
Which tells you everything you need to know about this series.
When was the last time LeBron James scored 10 points?
It's been a minute. I'm going to go with it's been quite some time.
It's just
And I don't even care about the points.
Amazing.
He was completely deferential to Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I told you on this show yesterday, LeBron's going to come out pissed off. And, he kind of did. It was just Anthony Davis was big mad.
right.
He was big mad, and LeBron deferred to him. And you know what? If they can win that way, more power to them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that you're going to get quite as good shooting from KCP as they had last night, but it just shows you they're going to have other players step up.
We got to come up with a word. Stephen Tao just said, how many times am I going to say the phrase beat like a kettle drum? Over-under's 4.5, and I've already said it twice.
Yep.
So we got to come up with a word every time I say things like that.
With a word?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yahtzee or bingo or fuck yeah. Whatever it is.
I think that's my favorite. Fuck yeah!
Something. Every time I throw a catchphrase out there. Because I have a few of them.
Yeah. It's not even. You have a few, and it's not even close.
See what he did there?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, last night it was not a good night for the Portland Trailblazers, and this is, like I said, this is the LeBron James, or not the LeBron James, but the Los Angeles Lakers that I'd expected to play in this series.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you know what they did?
What they did?
You want to know what the biggest difference in last night was?
What's that?
Deion Waiters played a lot. Kyle Kuzma played well. Alex Caruso played well. The role players played well. And that's really, they don't need you to be superstars. Just be serviceable. Don't get to beat like a kettle drum every time you're put on the floor. That's 3.
We're going to play the beat like a kettle drum drinking game this morning. It's Friday. Why not? Screw it. It's Friday. I ain't got shit to do after this.
You got to move houses.
Well, I got to move a house.
I think it's funny you asked me to help you move. And I just stared at you for a solid 30 seconds like, you know the answer to this.
Well, come on, man.
I love you to death. Doesn't mean I'm going to, my moving days are done. I outfunded pizza and beer a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I've always been that guy. You know, somebody says, hey, I'm moving. I'm always, hey, if you need some help, just let me know.
I'm not that guy.
I'll put my back in danger for you.
I'm not that guy.
Oh, I wish somebody would put their back in danger for me because I'm feeling it this morning. Oh.
Yeah. He's been in here doing calisthenics for the whole lead into this show.
Mm-hmm. I have.
I walked in and I think he was doing the upward-facing cat or some shit. I don't know what that was, but it didn't look right.
I tried the downward dog, but because of the belly, it doesn't really work that well. So you have to twist and contort whichever way you can to stretch all those muscles, and it hasn't really
didn't work in your
really
favor.
Helped out a whole lot. I've taken all kinds of medicines, and I'm a little fidgety this morning, but.
It looked like a really fat cat trying to lick its tail. If you need a visual, that's what it looked like.
If I could do that, oh boy, I would have an OnlyFans account if I could do that. You can bet your bottom dollar.
Patrick Holt, bingo. Hire some movers. Jesus Christ, you're old enough. There comes a certain age where moving yourself is a non-starter.
Yeah,
and I'm at that age and have been for a minute.
It's not going to happen. Moving day is the big moving day is quickly approaching, and so I've been locked up with that. When I turned on that game last night, 85 to 88 to 58 or whatever the hell it was, 30-point lead there in the third quarter. I was like, oh, LeBron James must be just doing exactly what I said. He's following my script and not passing the ball, and he has taken over this game. And then I pulled up the box score and went, oh. Well, this won't happen again, and I think that's what should scare the Portland Trailblazers the most.
I have to take my victory lap on something because I've heard this for weeks. Carmelo Anthony. Told you. I tried to tell you. 27 minutes, 2 points, minus 26. Good for you, Melo. That's the Melo I remember. That's Fat Melo for you.
Hall of Famer. He's
You're not wrong. He is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's just never going to win anything. Oh, no, he's not.
Not anymore.
He's not even kind of good now.
See, that's the thing that I thought was funny about all of this, Carmelo Anthony love that's been going around for the last week and a half is that people want to still play like he plays at a Hall of Fame level. And no, he really doesn't and hasn't for a long time. And I can't help you. I think the dislocated finger for Dame Lillard, I think that pretty much seals the deal. I mean, if he comes out and still scores 50 points in the next 3 games and they win another one, it's going to be the upset of the century to me. I mean, I realize basketball players have played with dislocated fingers before. Oh, my finger's sore. Some guys that would hold out. Other guys, they'll push through it. And I feel like his shot's going to be affected by it. His dribbling and his passing and everything will be affected by that finger. And I don't know that we'll see the steamrolling Trailblazers that everybody's been trying to pump up.
They gone
from now on.
Yeah, if you bet on the Blazers, I'm sorry because it's over for you.
Series is tied up 1-1, but a 30-point beatdown at the hands of the Los Angeles Lakers on a night when LeBron James and JaVale McGee scored the same amount of points. I don't feel real good about your chances moving forward. Because LeBron's the kind of guy that doesn't have a game like that.
Oh, no, that's the worst game he'll have in the series.
Right.
No doubt, that's the worst game he'll have in the series.
It's the worst game he's had all year. I looked. While you were talking, I went through and looked, and there's not been a game where he had that poor of a performance. But the good thing for the Lakers was that they didn't even need him. And Anthony Davis stepped up and played like like one of the top 3 players in the NBA last night. And so the c'est la vie. Bye, Portland Trailblazers.
Bye, world.
They might get another one, but I doubt it. I very seriously doubt it. And then let's turn over to the other number 1 seed.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay talking about that one. There's
Yeah,
another one that
we're going to get to that one.
Yeah,
we'll get to that one.
Yeah, that one's not going to go so well for me.
The Milwaukee Bucks came back, evened up their series with the Orlando Magic, which just kind of gives you that little acid reflux, regurgy feeling.
Yeah.
They had to even up the series after being down 0-1, but they tied it up 1-1, 111-96. By the way, there was only one game yesterday where the winner did not score 111 points.
Which is one of those stupid anomalies that it's hard to wrap your head around.
Right.
Here's everything you need to know about Milwaukee-Orlando. Milwaukee dominated this game. It was never in doubt. And Chris Middleton had 2.
Mm-hmm.
Their second All-Star scored 2. Him and Carmelo Anthony, same game. That series is over. Milwaukee in 5.
Yep. I agree with that. Giannis came out mad, and he went after the ball, 20 rebounds.
The dunk he had down low just tells you that he was a little pissed after Tuesday night or Tuesday day.
I'm sorry, you're never going to convince me that any team that runs their offense through Nikola Vucevic, while he's an okay player,
He's an all-star level player.
but I mean, he can't be the star on a team that achieves anything. Can he?
I don't know if he can be the star. He can be a star.
Yeah, but he's the star for
He's
this
the
team.
only one, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, this was never in doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it bothered me that Milwaukee, there was no anomaly. Here was the anomaly. They just didn't play well. They came out last night, they played well. Series over, Bucks in 5.
Miami gets a 2-0 series lead now after they took down the Indiana Pacers 109-100.
That series also over, 8-4.
Yes. And then there could be a sweep for the team that Jeremy has been downgrading and denigrating and whatever grading you want to talk about the entire time. The Houston Rockets go up 2-0 on the Oklahoma City Thunder, 111-98.
They beat him by 20 in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the second half, just the wheels fell off for Oklahoma City. And I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, Chris Paul was... I don't use this word lightly. Chris Paul was atrocious yesterday. They were minus 36 with him on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost hard to wrap your head around. Houston shot an NBA record 56 threes. They've broken that record like 6 times.
Yep.
That's what they do.
Just chuck them up. You're eventually going to hit some of them.
Eric Gordon and James Harden were a combined 2 for 23 from 3.
And whose house? Daniel's house. Who the fuck is Daniel House?
He's been a role player on this team. And yesterday he was the best player on the floor for extended stretches.
Right. I think a 2-0 lead for Houston is very surprising.
I still maintain a team led by James Harden's never going to win shit. A team led by Russell Westbrook's never going to win shit. And a team led by both of them is a friggin' disaster. So, okay, they get by Oklahoma City. Woo! You want a piece of candy? There you go. Here's your candy. Now go to the next row and get your ass beat by the Lakers.
Yeah. I think it sets up perfectly for that, though. There'll be so much intrigue.
I guarantee you the Lakers are sitting there going, please let them play us. Please let it be Houston. We don't want to deal with Steven Adams and Chris Paul and Gilgeous-Alexander. Please bring us that damn 3-point barrage. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. You throw up 63-point shots. As long as you hit 20 of them, you're still going to look good.
Oh, they didn't look good. This was an ugly game. To be honest with you, neither team looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Houston just spends the whole game firing threes. They never even really try to go inside. The vast majority of their twos are on fast break situations. They don't even, I mean, you know they're shooting from three.
Mm-hmm.
You can put one big guy in the lane, and that's all that matters because they're not going in there. From a coach's perspective, I look at that team and go, that team would be incredibly easy to defend. Because you have 20 feet from the basket out that you know they have no interest in.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is one reasonably athletic big guy. And, okay, you just keep chugging threes. That's fine. I'm not worried.
Eventually, the law of averages will catch up with you.
100%.
Yeah.
Because this is not Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, who are two of the 10 best three-point shooters in NBA history. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are not that. And neither is Eric Gordon or the Daniel House or whatever else.
The Daniel House.
Yeah, I'm calling him the Daniel House. It's like the Brick House, only it doesn't have a song.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Which is funny because he's usually the Brick House.
Yeah.
Wasn't yesterday, though.
No, he was not. He played very well, and the Houston Rockets come up with a 2-0 series lead on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So now we set up with today's slate of games. You're going to have the third game of the Nuggets and the Jazz.
Taking my Nuggets.
You think they can rebound after the loss?
I still think they win the series.
I mean, Utah can't really hit 23s again.
No. Here's the thing about Denver. The good is really good. The bad is not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of not good. I mean, it shows up too often. And still rooting for you, but I feel way less confident after day before yesterday.
Is it going to work? Is it going to work with this new setup that they have with Jokic? I mean, can it be consistent enough?
If Jamal Murray can stop disappearing for extended periods of time. Mm-hmm. Jamal Murray can be the best player on the floor, or he can be non-existent. And that can't happen for a guy that wants to be considered as a superstar. Now, I also understand that he's getting switched off on Donovan Mitchell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That will wear you out. But it can't happen like that. Will Barton leaving the bubble was the biggest Nugget story of the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Because if he's not coming back, you're in trouble. Because I don't know how you're going to stop Donovan Mitchell. We played 2 games, and you haven't stopped him for 10 minutes in 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Zach Hurst. Zach Hurst in the comments says, happy belated birthday. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. It was not the most celebratory of birthdays that I've ever had, as we spend most of the day moving stuff and working, but you do what you got to do. You got to keep on grinding.
Life's a garden, baby. Dig it.
In college football, Nebraska parents are suing the Big Ten. Or
told
at
you
least
this was coming.
threatening to sue the Big Ten.
I've told you for weeks this was coming.
Yep.
You can't be this bungled in your ability to say why you did something in the world we live in. Especially not when it's taking opportunities away from guys. You want to know when this really gets fun? When the Title IX people get involved. Because they're gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna. Because all of the women's sports that we've worked so hard for so many years to reclaim, none of them make any money. And so they're going to get slashed, and Title IX is going to show up with their lawyers. And then it's going to get real fun.
Yeah, there was a letter penned from the Jewell and Collins attorneys at law to Mr. Kevin Warren on behalf of Nebraska football parents, and they want information. They want transparency, and I don't know that they're going to get it. And if they don't get it by noon on Monday, they will be filing a lawsuit against the commissioner of the Big Ten. I don't know that they really expected this. When Kevin Warren made the decision, he thought everybody was just going to roll along. Everybody's going, oh, yeah, he makes a good point. Yeah, COVID. Okay, we can't play football.
Oh, we're scared of COVID. No, that's not at all what it was.
That's not at all how that happened. And the Nebraska parents are real upset about it. I think today is the day that they're supposed to be staging a protest outside the Big Ten headquarters in Chicago.
And you know what that's going to lead to? A bunch of people in Chicago going, oh, there it is. I never knew what that was.
And you know where Kevin Warren is?
Not there.
Not in
He's
Chicago.
hiding like a sumbitch, because that's what he should be doing.
Exactly. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to see this happen. And Kevin Warren should be very scared right now for not only
His
the
career
backlash, but
his
for
career trajectory is not looking great.
right, for where this goes for him now, because I still maintain that I don't see a path for him retaining his job. And where do you go from here after you've had the failed stint as a commissioner in the Big Ten? Is he just go open up his own little law firm? And
I was about to say, hope you kept your law license active, because you're going to need it.
Right.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. We're seeing something we've never seen in college sports. There is an active mutiny happening in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the big players have not gotten vocal yet, but I promise you they will. That's coming, because they see what's going to happen. The Sharks are already circling.
What do you mean by the big players?
The decision makers at Ohio State, the decision makers at Michigan, Harbaugh, Ryan Day.
I was going to
James Franklin's been kinda out there.
I was going to say James. I just lost his name. The quarterback at Ohio State.
Justin Fields.
Thank you, Justin Fields. The fact that Justin Fields is already,
You would be horrible at Pictionary, by the way.
I am awful.
Or what's that game where you make hand gestures? Charades.
Charades.
Sounds like, I don't know. I got nothing. What's that guy? That's the lead-in.
Guy.
What's that? That guy? You know that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Justin Fields.
Yeah, dude with the hair. No, Justin Fields. Since he already, penned the petition, I thought that's what you were leading to with big players. But I see where
Justin Fields, and that's the thing, is that Justin Fields is a case study, and I guarantee you, every high-level quarterback in high school football is watching how do they respond to Justin Fields, because this is the kid with the biggest voice in the conference. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. There's no player in the Big Ten that has more of a voice than Justin Fields. And so I equate this to how NFL players handle their contract negotiations. Because players talk about that. Mm-hmm. And players look at that and go, well, if they did it to him, why would they not do it to me? So if Justin Fields goes to all of this effort, petition, social media campaigns, out in front of cameras, all these things, and Kevin Warren just goes, I don't care. Every high-level recruit's going to see that and go, well, if they don't care about what he thinks, why would I think they're going to care about what I think?
Exactly.
I mean, the Sharks are circling. You've already got Lane Kiffin and all of those ACC coaches and SEC coaches circling around going, just release the recruits. Let the transfers go.
As once they do, it'll be
SMU all over again. I swear to you, if you want to see what this would turn into, watch Pony Express, the ESPN 30 for 30. Of literally, players were setting up booths for coaches to come talk to them on SMU's campus.
Yeah.
As soon as the death penalty happened. Mm-hmm. It's the closest thing I've ever seen to this. Because they're going to have to do something. You can't just tell these recruits, oh, well, we'll play in the spring, when you couldn't possibly feel good that you're going to play in the spring. If you're making decisions from a lawyer standpoint, you can't look at this and go, well, what happens when we can't play in the spring? Mm-hmm. And these guys lose a year, and then they can come at us with all kinds of different things of we were irresponsible, and we didn't give them the best opportunity to succeed, and we didn't uphold their player contract that they signed when they come in. Yes, that's a thing. Then what do? I saw this coming from the day the Big Ten said, oh, we're not going to play. Mm-hmm. Okay. You think it stops there. That's cute.
How fast do you think the decision comes down?
End of this month.
For Kevin Warren?
Oh, no, that's not the decision I thought you were talking about.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that completely depends on how vocal the big voices get. If the president of Ohio State, the AD at Ohio State, same thing for Michigan, Penn State, if they start to get vocal, he's the bullseye's on his back. Mm-hmm. The firing squad has been commissioned, and now it's just a question of which bullet's going to get you. If that doesn't happen, I think he can skirt this for a while. The problem is that you got to make a decision on basketball reasonably soon. Mm-hmm. I see no shot he's the one making that call. None. I see no path to that.
I have heard rumors that a lot of the conferences are going to look at playing the basketball seasons holding off until January, and then only playing like conference games or maybe just a couple of non-conference games in a January.
Well, don't tell John Calipari that because he disagrees.
Really?
And that's one of the most vocal voices in college basketball.
What did he say? I haven't seen this.
He said we should do his idea was to have a round robin bubble and have like 10 teams in it and they all play each other.
Yeah.
And basically his point was, let's stop trying to tell these kids they're student athletes because that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, he basically came out and said, look, my job is to prepare guys for the league because they come here to play in the NBA.
Yep.
And so all of this shit that goes on with your administration and all that, I really don't care. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't care what the president thinks. I don't care what short of the athletic director and me are the only two administrators that they have any involvement with. So we're going to do what's best for them. And he's going to get really vocal and he's going to get really loud because that's what John Calipari does. That's how he's been so good at this. You get that, right?
Oh, yeah.
John Calipari is the Bill Clinton of college basketball.
The Bill Clinton.
Well, think about it. When Clinton got elected, what did he do? He tried to make himself look really cool to younger voters. He's playing saxophone on Arsenio Hall and shit like that. That's what John Calipari does. Calipari comes out and goes, look, I'm the cool guy. I look younger than Roy Williams. I look younger than Mike Krzyzewski, even though he's not by much.
Is he not?
No, he's way older than you think he is. I look cool. It looks cool to be at Kentucky. This is a blue blood program, but it's not the old guard. I'm the new wave in college basketball. Mm-hmm. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. And so do you not think he will use this as a recruiting opportunity to go, well, the Big Ten's telling you they can't play. You can play in the SEC. Come on down.
Oh, yeah. You just gave him one more tool to work with.
And that's what Saban and Kiffin and all these other guys are going to do with Big Ten recruits and current players. I'm telling you that decision's coming. I'm going to keep banging this drum until it actually happens. Mm-hmm. Because you can't – this is one of those cans you can't just keep kicking down the road. You don't have the ability. At some point, you're going to get to – well, it's too late. Because, I mean, you got games that are happening in, 36 days? Mm-hmm. I mean, you got games 36 or 37 days from now. These guys, if they're going to transfer, they're going to have to make these decisions in like a week, 2 weeks. Pack up all their shit, move across the country. I mean, you can't expect them to do that in a short period of time. And the Big Ten and Pac-12 are currently trying to run out the clock of, oh, look, now you can't do it. Because now they're getting ready to play in 2 weeks. So, okay, we'll give you a waiver, and you can play and all that shit. And you got 2 weeks to learn the playbook. Guys would still do it, but it would be much more difficult. Guys like Lane Kiffin are not going to let that happen because they know that's what's happening.
Right.
They have figured out this is the Big Ten's game plan, is we will push this decision so far that we don't give you the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And having parents threatening lawsuits and boycotts and protests outside of Big Ten headquarters is doing nothing but lighting the fire underneath them. And when it reaches them, it's going to reach them before this run the clock out period that they have.
Yeah, the idiocy that has come out of the Big Ten commissioner's mouth and out of his official office with statements and such has been entertaining. But the most entertaining part of this to me is the simple, basic hypocrisy fact that he has a son that's playing college football in the SEC, and the
that bothers you so much more than it bothers me.
Why? Because on a personal level, you can't honestly look at a guy who's telling everybody else you can't make this decision and then be making that decision in your own family.
And maybe I should be looking at it that way. It's bothering me. That's one kid. That's his one son. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this from the perspective of you have convinced these commissioners and these presidents and all of the decision makers in the Big Ten that you will look out for their children. And now, I'm not even coming out against your decision. If you can give me a certifiable reason for why you can't play and these other three conferences can, I'll listen. But you're not giving it to me. Mm-hmm. You're doing that. He's becoming more Larry Scott by the day of, I know better than you do. You just trust me. I know better for you than you do. Mm-hmm. Piss off. Kick a can down the road, you jackass.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Let it out. It'll be
that's not
okay.
letting it out.
It'll be okay.
If I let it out, I might get arrested.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And, yeah, it is a big problem right now for the Big Ten. The Nebraska parents, the reason I brought that up about his son is because it was like the third line of the letter to Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren of the fact that you took this decision away from all of us, but you got to make the decision for your kid in the SEC. That makes, to me, it's just the cherry on top of everything else. And
I don't disagree with that. It's just that part of this is, I understand it's incredibly hypocritical. It's more bothering me for all of the kids that have entrusted these. And I guess I'm looking at it from a coach's perspective. Of if I'm Ryan Day or I'm Jim Harbaugh or James Franklin, and I've gone into these kids' living rooms and told them I'm going to do what's best for your kid, and many of them were 4- and 5-star athletes, that you're saying I'm going to do everything to get them to the NFL, and your commissioner has unilaterally gone piss down the road. That's where the hypocrisy comes in to me.
Right.
Of you got this job to take care of this conference, and you have done. I'll go out on a limb here. He has done as much in a year to hurt that conference as Jim Delaney did in 30 years to help it.
Wow. I mean, you can't argue with that, because you look at the amount of money that they are going to lose because of this decision. And, playing a spring football season, as stupid as that idea is, even if you look at it from a money standpoint, it's what's going to change. Think about it. Think about the what they're going to be in January. What's going to change between now and then as far as the protocols have to go? Because they've been making the argument about the money, like it's going to cost all of our institution schools a lot of money to do all of the testing and all of that. You're still going to have to do that in January, right?
Well, the thought is that maybe by the NBA is walking them down that line. The NBA is talking about putting off their season next year to December 1st. I told you. I love being right. There's very little in this life I enjoy more than being right. And the problem is that, okay, so we're going to hypothetically keep pushing it off to hope we can get fans involved, because then we can have ticket revenue. And okay, that's a lot of ifs. That's my problem with everything Kevin Warren has said. Is it's a lot of if this, then maybe that, and then possibly this. And I don't like that. I don't like that. You've had 6 months to come up with a plan since you canceled your basketball tournament, and you've gotten exactly nowhere.
I see a path where they're still going to have to do all of the testing. They're going to still have to create sort of a bubble for the football teams in January when it comes around.
But Tank, they're going to have a vaccine by then.
Oh, the vaccine's not going to matter. The vaccine is really not. I mean, it's going to ease some people's minds about it. Like, oh, we've got a vaccine. Everything's fine again. And I think there's a lot of, uneducated people out there that are going to be like, yeah, let's do this. We're good. Let's reopen everything.
I love when he talks shit about his Democrat brethren. It just makes me happy.
But it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. It's still going to be a problem. You're still going to have to do the testing, because not everybody's going to get a vaccine. Because what are you going to do? As the football team, say there is a vaccine that we have approved by that point.
Force them to take it.
Yeah,
please,
right,
Jesus,
right.
do that.
Like, is the leadership?
If you want to know the one way they could screw this up even further, tell them that to play you have to take the vaccine.
Yep.
Please do that. Just so I have one more bit of ammo to go. You are the dumbest motherfucker I have ever seen in the history of sports.
Exactly.
Like, he's this close. He's right there. He is patting Rob Manfred on the ass every opportunity that he gets. That's the one way he could go. Here I go.
Right. The only way you get around that, the testing and the bubble idea, is to make sure that everybody gets it. And you try to put that as a requirement for your activity in said stuff. I mean, I realize yes, I know, before you start commenting, there are already vaccines that are required for people when they go to college.
They're not experimental vaccines.
They're not. There's going to be a lot of questions with this vaccine. The rushed process that it has gone through, you're not going to get everybody on board. And I guarantee you're not going to get all of their parents on board with it. as well. You want to talk about lawsuits? That's a lawsuit right there. And I could fully see Kevin Warren trying to do something like that if he still has his job by January.
I don't see a path that he's still running the Big Ten.
I don't either. This is what the Nebraska parents want by noon on Monday. They want the results of all votes that were taken.
There were none.
They want all of the meeting minutes and all the audio and video recordings, if there are any, of these meetings as well.
Also none.
And they want full transparency. Everything on the table. It's not something that the Big Ten's going to give them.
Nope.
Because it's not something that the Big Ten can give them.
Because it doesn't exist.
Right, because they mention in the letter, threatening this lawsuit, that you already have the president of Minnesota saying there was no vote that was taken.
The AD of Penn State.
You have the AD of Penn State who's already said that they're not sure whether or not there was an official vote taken on it. I know that it was reported that originally we had a 12-2 vote, but that was before the decision was made. And so there might have been a straw poll done, but there never was an official vote of the presidents. And at some point, at the end of the meeting, nobody went, okay, let's take a vote. Everybody accounted for? Okay, now let's run down the table. Or do, anonymous ballots or whatever. I don't think this looks good, obviously, for the Big Ten. It's not good for Kevin Warren. I almost called him Kevin Stallings again. It's not good for Kevin Warren. And I don't know that he can maintain his job, because part of me wants to think that they'll wait to see what happens with the ACC and the SEC and the Big 12.
That's what they want to do.
If they ever have to shut down,
that's what they want to do.
Then we can go, hey, we were right.
That's what they want to do. Unfortunately, there's one great big problem with that. You can't wait that long, because the parents and the players and the administrators and the ADs and all the other things are not going to allow you to wait that long to make this decision. That's not how this works. Oh, what the hell?
It's the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene.
There it is.
You can hear the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene live on the iHeartRadio app every afternoon at 3 o'clock on ESPN Asheville. It's good to have a little refreshment in the middle of the show. Bring it around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Sportsocracy on the other side. Double hit mug. Available now in the merch store. Link is in the description of this video. Now, we've talked about that. One thing we haven't got into, though, is it really a good idea to get a shock collar for your dog?
Well, yes, it is.
Jeremy's been experimenting with
no. Experimenting makes me sound like Dr. Kevorkian.
Look, this is Mr. Reagan Republican. He wants to go through the process of torturing animals. Serial killer in the making here.
Again, that's not what this is. I have a dog that we adopted from a farm. I don't live on a farm. I live in a neighborhood. I just so happen to have a lot of land. Doggy doesn't like to listen at all. Doggy wants to roam and try to bite my neighbors and things. So we got her a shock collar, and all of a sudden now I'm Michael freaking Vick. Like that's how I have been pawned off by the whole production staff of the show.
I don't know. It sounds bad. But it's been working.
Oh, it's worked great. It took one day for bad dog to become good dog. And kind of scared dog, because doggy doesn't understand. The dog doesn't understand that it's doing things that it's done since the minute it walked in our house. And it's like messing with somebody when they're asleep. The dog really likes to paw at my wife when she's asleep. Well, now she gets a little and she doesn't understand, so she just stares at the couch like, the hell happened to that couch? I was sitting on that couch since the minute I walked in this door. Now all of a sudden it's got a force field behind it or something. Now she looks at the ottoman, which is her spot, like, I ain't falling for that shit. I touched that couch, and that couch look exactly the same.
Yeah.
If I touch that, It's going to do the same thing that did.
She's got that whole Forrest Gump reaction. Something just jumped up and bit me.
Yeah, and it's not like a fucking electric chair. It's just a little.
Okay.
I put it in my hand. It hurt me the least. It's not like I have it cranked up to 40. It's on 3.
Does it have a setting that high?
Oh, it has a. Let's see. It goes to 15, I think.
It goes from get their attention to barbecue.
Yeah.
I think you got the wrong model.
No, it's breed of dog. So bigger dogs require a little bit more of a. And it's a reasonably big dog, and it needs a little every once in a while. Just to understand. No. Do not. You try it on me. I don't give a shit.
Live next Friday.
I think we should.
I'll get one of those.
That's it. That's the key. Every time you say beat like a kettle drum, we'll shock you with the shock collar.
Nope, don't like that at all.
Come on.
No, it's got a little beep too. We can do the beep.
Please, dear God. And every time he calls me a Democrat, I'm just gonna fucking just hit that button.
He is a Democrat.
I do love the color blue. A little too
I
much.
know. Yes, that's why you vote that way.
Never voted that way in my life. Just saying. It's not lies. Stop. Production crew, shut your mouths.
Somebody get him a pen so he can go. The pen.
All right. How about this? How about this for a Democrat position for you? I want everybody who's pissed off about the Toronto Blue Jays wearing a homeless Blue Jays shirt to shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? So yesterday, they all got these cute little t-shirts made up, and it says homeless Jays on it. Huh? Are you making fun of my use of the word cute?
Yeah, I am.
Shut up. Anyway, it's got the cartoon Blue Jay on the front, and he's got the Depression era, like hobo theme going on. He's got the baseball bat over his shoulder with the little, lunch sack strapped over it. He's got the holy sock on, and it says homeless Jays, which is funny because they don't have a home right now. They're using someone else's home. And oh boy, the PC culture has gone wild. Oh, you have thousands of people sleeping in parks in Toronto. How could you be so insensitive to the homeless population? Get a sense of humor.
No, you're not allowed to have one of those anymore. Just imagine how hard it is to be a comedian now. And trust me, I know this because I am a comedian. Speaking of that, Dark Thoughts from My Safe Space on this stage 1 week from today.
There you go. The Social in East Asheville, by the way.
My new stand-up special that we were supposed to happen 6 months ago.
Uh-huh.
But I really like the name, and I'm not letting it die. Dark Thoughts from My Safe Space. Right here, 9 o'clock next Friday.
That's not something that is just for the coronavirus era. That's something that's been growing and growing for years, and it's obvious since there are a lot of people that are really ticked off about the Toronto Blue Jays having some fun with the fact that they can't play in their home stadium. Who looks at something like this and goes, "Oh my God, that's such an offense to homeless people"?
A lot of people. At some point, I'm telling you right now, after you just outed me for having a shot collar for my dog, we're going to have an ASPCA commercial up here that I'm going to have to apologize to a sad-looking puppy.
Right.
You'll have to call Sarah McLachlan and see how they make them look so sad.
It's probably the shot collars, I will tell you that. You turn them up to about 30, hit them 3 times, and then they don't really look sad. They've just had a stroke. And so it's a...
And then, I will remember you.
Exactly. That's how they do it. That's how they do it.
You
I'm convinced. Emaciated and electrified.
If you play that song behind me, I will cry.
Really?
I can 100% make myself cry. So that is one of the few ways I can do it, though.
I just... people see, this is the thing. We can't have nice things in this country. And this is part of the problem. Like, oh, we can't make fun of homeless people. We're not making fun of homeless people.
We're making fun of how stupid baseball is.
Exactly. And I don't know. You can't have all of this tumult around the country and everybody biting at each other's necks and not we can't survive without a sense of humor. And if we all can't have some kind of base of happiness in our lives, this is all going to destroy itself. This is how we got to this point, people. I don't see how. I see how people get to this point, but to me, it's just stupid.
I don't get it. I have never uttered the phrase "I'm offended" in my life.
No,
I've
not if I wasn't joking.
I've never. Oh well, I don't think I've ever said it that way. I've never said I'm offended at anything. Now there are things that would theoretically offend me. It's just nobody's ever said them to me. Mm-hmm. But this is not one of them. This is just people are bored and they need something to be mad at. It's what we do in this country. Oh, I've got to be mad about something. Give me something to be mad at. Mm-hmm. And a homeless Blue Jay is what I'm mad at today.
It's
Michael Whiteside.
It's
absolutely. This is the result of participation trophies.
Yes.
You give the kid picking his nose and making dirt castles at third base a participation trophy, just like to give the kid in center field that hit 3 home runs.
Yeah.
And you tell him your contribution was equally important. No, it wasn't. That's the beauty of sports. I can actually look at the box score and go, your inclusion in this was this much less important than this kid's.
Yeah.
And nobody says that. And then they grow up and go, my opinions are important. No, your opinions are misguided and dumb.
Yeah.
For the vast majority.
Just for that, I'm feeling generous. Michael, we love your comment, and so private message the show. We're gonna make sure that you get a sticker, fresh from the merch store.
Yes.
Link in the description of this video. It is Friday. It's gonna be a great weekend. No, this is not a San Diego football shirt. This is Soddy Daisy High School in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. I am going to see my first football game tonight, so it is officially football season, y'all.
In the rain. And
I don't give a damn.
And you know what him going to see a high school football game means? It means at 3 o'clock this afternoon, he just gave me a studio and all the buttons and said, you do what you want to do. Took him 4 years to do that, which means he has become mentally prepared to be fired.
Yes. It just means at this point, I need a break, and I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to let it ride.
This afternoon, 92.9 FM, 880, 1400 in Asheville, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. 3 to 5 this afternoon. You can find it on the iHeartRadio app. Mm-hmm. Search The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene.
Yep, and filling in for me, running the actual board and pitching to Jeremy and hopefully arguing very greatly with Jeremy. God, I want y'all to get into baseball so much. Caleb Peak will be joining us. Also, he's doing a fantastic job this morning filling in for Classic Clay, running the cameras and everything. It's gonna be a good Friday. I got a good feeling about it. I'm gonna get to see some high school football tonight. See how a real state handles high school athletics.
A state not run by Roy Cooper.
Yep. Screw you, Roy. Screw you. And in the NBA tonight, we got 4 more games. Best game of the night. Go ahead and call it, Jeremy.
Best game tonight?
Best game of the night.
I'm gonna go Clippers Dallas, and I'll take the Mavericks again. The line's gone up for the Clippers. Nope. No. Give me the Mavs.
4 o'clock this afternoon, Denver and Utah. I think that's going to be a good game because you're going to have to see the Denver Nuggets come back as a force to be reckoned with if they want to avoid all of the talk of, oh, this was so promising, but it's not going to come to fruition, because that's exactly what's going to happen if they end up going down 2-1 to the Utah Jazz. I don't think they can do it. I don't think the Jazz can do it. I really don't.
I'm taking Denver.
It is the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Be sure to like it, share it, follow it. Don't forget to visit the merch store as well. Get your Roy Cooper made me wear this mask. Also, your fine Sportsocracy coffee mugs. Because 2020, because baseball. It's got the Sports Tank logo on the other side. Cheers, brother. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning at 9 a.m.